Okay, this is a quick video to show you a couple of the steps in building out this target game. So the second sprite is for the fire button, so that's what we'll call it there. I just renamed it. So what I want to do is when the program starts, so that means when the green button is clicked, I want to show that button. So under looks, there's a show command, and there's also a hide command. So when the game is when the game is over, I want to hide it immediately so that the user can't click the button any longer. So that's going to be when I receive, and we need to create a new message for that. When I receive game over, I want to hide it. Now we will need to send a message called game over to that sprite, and we'll do that in a minute. Okay, so the other thing then we need to do is when the actual green button itself is clicked. So that's when this sprite is clicked. We want to broadcast a message to say check score. Okay, because we want to see where, we want to detect where the site is. Is it in the bullseye? Is it in the pink? Is it in the yellow, etc., etc., and give it a particular score. So that's what we want to do. In fact, I used the wrong one. We're going to use that one. So broadcast, check score, and wait. Okay. So who's going to handle that? Well, the site is going to handle that. Okay, so back here, we're going to have when I receive check score, then the next thing I want to do is find out where, first stop the green site moving around. So how do you do that? There's a stop command here. Stop. So stop other scripts in this sprite, which means the green site will no longer be moving around. So it's in a particular location. The very next thing we want to do then is find out where it is. Is it on yellow? Is it on red? And so on and so on. So to do that, we're going to use the sensing command. So we're going to ask it which color is it touching. So I'm just going to do one of these here now. So how you do this is, so this is checking whether or not it's touching a particular color. So when you click on the color there, you'll see that you can go for this picker down here at the bottom. And when you go for that, you come over here and you find the green one. Okay, so now you'll see that we're after checking if it's touching green. Okay, so we need an if statement because we're conditionally checking something. So if it's touching green, I want to give it a particular score. If it isn't touching green, then I want to check the next one. So that might, so then I put another one in here. Go back to sensing and get another one of these. So now I want to check, is it touching the pink one? Okay, so go for the picker again and go back to the pink. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to build these up over time. I need another one then for the duplicate for the next color, which is yellow, and so on, right? So I'm not going to do them all here now, but that's what we're going to do. You're going to put if then else statements and check the color for each one. Now, what do you want to do if it is green? Well, you want to increase the score. So when we started the game over here, we set the score to 0. So you can do this in a number of ways. You can say with the variables, change the score by a particular number. So you might say, oh, well, if it's bullseye, I'm going to make that 250 points. What you also might want to do here is add a sound to it. So play a sound if you get the bullseye. So this is just a quick example. So you can record your own voice to actually record that and play that when a bullseye happens. So I'm going to record my own voice. Record bullseye. Save. Okay, so now I have an event called Bullseye. I'm going to rename it up here. Sorry, a sound, I should say. So that's a sound called Bullseye. Um, so if I go back to the code here now, I'm going to say select play sound Bullseye. Okay, and if you double click that, you will actually hear my voice coming back at it, or your voice in the case of you having recorded it. So you want to do a similar thing for each one, obviously with different scores according to what scoring system you're going to go for. So that's the first part of what you need to do. So each of these is going to have another branch. So you're going to need another one for the red, another one for the blue, another one for the black, and see where I'm putting them all the time. I'm putting them in the else part, and another one for the white. Okay, if it's anything else, then what I want to say is something like this. I want, because there's no score, because it's a miss basically. So I might record another file here and say, too bad you missed. Okay, you missed. So now if I come back to my code, I can play you missed. Okay, if they missed. Now you need to add the other colors in here. I'm not going to do them. Too bad you missed. So you need to change that to the next one, which is going to be red, and so on, right? So keep going with each of those until you have them all done. Red, blue, black, white, and so on, and decide what score you're going to give them. Now put the score directly underneath the if. The else is to check the next one. So if it isn't yellow, check the red. If it isn't red, check the black, the blue. If it isn't blue, check the black, and so on and so on and so on. So you keep going until you eliminate everything until, well, if it isn't any of those, clearly you missed, right? Get that much done and we will see where we go from there.